Hello, I'm Milo. Welcome to this first episode of Milo Tries, where Milo, in fact, tries. This episode we'll be getting into Blender, creating a render every day for 30 days in order to answer the question, why delete the default cube? Let's get into it. Hey, so we were supposed to have a cool intro, but it's not done yet. So in the meantime, ta-da! Now onto the video. Blender over the years has exploded in popularity, from once being a pretty niche and hobbyist piece of software to now not only rivaling mainstream industry standards like Maya and Cinema 4D, but some studios are using Blender as their primary piece of kit. 3D and animation is something I've kinda kept dipping my toes into over the years, starting with Blender 2.4 when it looked like this. I'd usually end up watching whatever version of the Blender Guru Donut tutorial had come out at that point, but never really got much further than that. Sure, maybe I'd start a project here or there, but most of those are either collecting literal and metaphorical dust on my hard drive, or I've just been lost to time altogether. But since Blender has gone from something John Lasseter would have punched vertex coordinates into to create Toy Story to being capable of things like this, I decided to jump in head first, full deep end, no floaties, in order to see what Blender could really do. Did I make anything cool? Did I learn anything from these 30 days? Let's find out. Good morning. How's it going? It is currently 10:15 a.m. on March 18th, which means it is the first day of the 30-day render challenge. The rules for this challenge are pretty simple. Number 1, I have to make a render every day, obviously. Number 2, at least one thing does have to be modeled by me. It doesn't have to be the main focus of the render, and I can use other assets like HDRIs, photo scans, and such, but I do want to at least try and model one thing per render in order to not have it be basically someone else's work that I'm hodgepodging together. And finally, all of these have to be posted once they're finished. So if you want to go look at all the cool renders, you can follow me on my Instagram or in my portfolio linked below. So yeah, those are the rules. I'm going to start gathering assets, getting some references together, and then we'll hop into Blender and get started. So on the first day of the challenge, I decided that I was going to record the entire process of making the render. This piece of footage right here is 9 hours of my life. This is 10.3 gigabytes of storage on my computer. Hello, editing Milo here. I made a slight mistake in the video, just a small one. It was not in fact 10.3 gigabytes. It was 30.9 gigabytes of footage for a single render. Holy Lord. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. 30.9 gigabytes. Holy shit, I have to delete these files. This is time I'm never getting back. Yeah, that last clip that you saw, I literally started that render the second after I stopped recording that. From gathering reference to modeling to blocking out to building materials, all that jazz, that was 9 hours of my life. There is a lot of things you can do in 9 hours. You can watch Avengers Endgame 3 times if you'd like. Watch Robert Downey Jr.'s ass get fucking blasted thrice. Suffice it to say that my biggest struggle throughout this entire challenge is gonna be time. Yeah, time management has never really been my strong suit. So with that on top of having to do things like be an adult and go to work and do my taxes, some days I had to commit to the bit a little extra.
Good morning. It is 6:30 I think in the morning. I don't know if you can see, it's still dark outside. But I'm waking up because I have to do my render for the day. And this will be the only time that I have, so you can't say I'm not committed.
It's now time for the weekly review, starring your host, Miloh Talks.
Sorry, I've just woken up. Hello. So it's officially the end of the first week of the challenge. So what have I learned? I'd say my biggest struggle this week was scope. I tried to do a lot with a little bit of time, and especially with having a job, as well as trying to juggle like full life responsibilities, it was hard trying to come up with these big ideas that I had in such a short amount of time. Now, I know what you're wondering. How did you get in my house? But I know you're also wondering, what the hell is scope? That's a great question. Hey, Vsauce, Milo here. Basically, your scope is the overall vision for whatever you're working on. Like the core idea, the crucial elements, and the timeline of completion can all be seen as your scope, per se. But see, here's the thing. As your project goes on, if you're not careful, you can run into Scope creep. Maybe you had a good idea that didn't show up in the planning stage, or maybe you're confident that you can finish in X amount of time. So you decide to add something here or there. Maybe you polish up something that really didn't need to be polished. And suddenly you've gone double the time that you thought and you haven't even finished your original vision. That right there, my friends, that's scope creep. This has been and continues to be my biggest struggle. And if you're waiting for the I managed to turn this around portion of the video, I did not.
With 7 minutes left, I have finished exporting the render. God.
Week in review. No, I think I came up with some really cool stuff this week. Some were a little better than others, frankly. I think my favorite render this week is gonna be the little robot guy. I just think he's super cool. Overall, it's been really good to be creative again. Almost like forcing myself to be creative has been very helpful. Even on top of all my other responsibilities, I can still find time to do things that I really enjoy. So yeah, that's week number 1 down. 23 more renders to go. All right, now I'm recording on audio. Hello. Today was day 13 of the render challenge. It got done. It was okay. I would just say it was kind of boring. If anything, didn't end up finishing till like 11:30, and I almost forgot to eat. I don't know if it's just because I'm like burnt out. I don't know what this is. I think this is just the time in every creative project where I face a little adversity and I just kind of quit. But I'm not quitting. No. Don't think this is me quitting. I really don't want to quit because this is the first time that I've kind of felt like, or the first time in a while at least, where I've felt, it sounds so corny, but doing something like significant. Like I'm making silly little Blender renders in my room after I go work my 9 to 5 or my 12 to 8 retail job. But I don't know, it feels like significant to me. Like, I don't know a lot of things. Okay, sue me. Like, I would love this to, or I would love art in general to be my life. I just don't want to disregard other aspects for the sake of it, if that makes sense. There's going to be sacrifices, obviously, but I don't want to like not go hang out with like friends or show up late to things because, oh, I have to get this render done in time. I don't know what this is, but this will probably go in the video. Damn, I gotta make a YouTube video too. Shit. Burnout. Yeah, gotta love it. Fun fact about me, I had, but maybe still have, I don't know, it's complicated. I want to come back to it, but I digress. I had a short stint as a musician, but seeing as I haven't made any music in 8 months, it might be closer to a quiet retirement. I don't know why though. Like, I know I want to make stuff because I have, and when I have, I love it. But it's that thing of starting a new project or starting a new task, the infinite blank canvas just staring back at you. Yeah, that shit is paralyzing to the point where I decide to not even open it. But I made a commitment to this project, I made a commitment to the series, and I'm not gonna let that sentiment deter me. So I just kept going. Hello. I'm gonna see how many angles I can get of this room before I have to change locations. What day is it? It's, I think, day 17, 18. I'll put it in the edit. But we're over the halfway point. We've officially made it over halfway. So what were the highlights of week 2? The highlights, I think I really delved deep into that NPR non-photorealistic style. I think I am really starting to enjoy that a lot. I also started joining a lot of the Discord and Twitter communities based around low poly and non-photorealism. And let me tell you, these are some of the coolest artists out there. Like, I'll post a couple on the screen right here, and I'll leave some of their links in the description on like Twitter and Discord and such. But please check them out. They're so cool. So what about this week? This week I have continued with that low poly style. I've kept the scenes a little more simple, especially with this last one, which I actually am very proud of the little car that I modeled. It was designed by this guy. Oh, I don't remember your name. I'm so terribly sorry. Again, I will leave links and shit down below, so if you want to follow them, please check them out. But I think this is probably my favorite render I've done so far. I just find everything about it great. I think it's funny. I think it's simple. I think the composition is done well. I think that's one thing that I've really seen improvement on is Not the fact that like my skills overall are getting better, it's just I'm able to do more. And even though maybe it's not like a super tangible improvement, I think the fact that a lot of these are more stuff that I've created personally is showing signs of, if not improvement, then a sense of like finding my style. Wasn't the intended outcome, but a good one nonetheless. But anyways, I feel like I am talking out of my ass now. This has been your weekly, semi-weekly, not really weekly review. Going into week 3 with 13 more renders left. Oh shit, I did this with 10 more because I know the last time was 23. Look at that, I can do math. So weeks 2 and 3 ended up being just more of the same, getting renders done, falling in love with the process, and I really fell into a groove in these weeks. Yeah, sure, I was still cranking out renders until the 11th hour most nights, but that's just how I operated. It was something I was really enjoying, planning out my days, always overshooting on what I thought I could get done after work, basically being a walking corpse trying to gather up the gusto to try and finish what I had started 8 hours prior. Hitting render and posting always was kind of like a reward. It was a stamp on the day, if you will, just kind of proving that it didn't go to waste. But with the last week kind of creeping up and the end of the challenge in sight, I started backpedaling and second-guessing myself a bit. And on the final day, it really came to a head.
It's the last day, but I don't want to start. What time is it? It is 12, basically 12 in the afternoon. I've been up since 8 in the morning. I know what the final render is gonna be. I've had it planned out for the last couple of days. I just don't want to start. Well, I don't know if it's just something where it's like, if I don't have a set schedule, I won't like do anything, and I feel like that's my problem, and that was almost the whole point of this challenge. I don't know what I'm doing. I barely even know if this YouTube video will get edited. I hope it does. I don't know, just like mad anxiety or like something. And I know I'm wearing the same shirt as I wore in like one of the other clips. Give me a fucking break. This is like recorded 2 weeks later. I promise you it will get done. And this will not be the end of Blender, I promise. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day.
But alas, I opened up Blender for the final time to create what I saw fitting to commemorate the last 30 days of this little challenge. A look back at the silly little renders that took my life over in the best way possible. Recording on video. Alright, so the final render has been sent to my phone. Sorry, I'm looking down. This is fucking anxiety inducing. I don't know why. Like, I don't want this to be over, and it's not, because I'm gonna keep working, but like, I don't know, this challenge has been really fun, and it's been really cool to commit to something. What should we title it? We'll title it Celebration. Well, I've been Miloh. You've been you. Thank you for sticking along with these 30 days. And it's done. 30 renders in 30 days. I don't know why I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. Like, the superficial answer was being the skill set, but it's actually just like, could I get myself to make something for 30 days? But damn, I really did it. It's done. Oh my god, I really hope I was in focus. I didn't even check focus. Fuck, if I'm out of focus, that's me whack. My bad if the background and stuff keeps changing. I've had to record this like 4 times. I'm terribly sorry. Hello. Editing Miloh again. Yeah, dummy, you keep forgetting to check focus, so you're out of focus for like half the video. Literally, every key piece of the video, you're out of focus. Come on, dude. Lesson for next time, I guess. Back to the program. Full transparency, the last couple years have not really been the most creative for me, going from being a teen to being in my early 20s, going from worrying about things like school and tests and homework to now having to worry about like taxes and being an adult, financial stability, my future. Art has kind of really been sidelined as of late, which frankly sucks. Art and being creative has always been this kind of pipe dream in a way, whatever form it came in, whether it was movies or music or games or 3D, I just always knew I wanted to make things. But fun fact, that shit is hard, dude. Like right now, as of this moment, I don't have the como se dice, a plan. You know, I'm the whole in the early 20s, didn't go to college, now is just working and existing kind of thing. So art is really the closest thing to a plan that I've got. This challenge really spawned how most of my ideas do. Well, actually, most of my ideas spawn from asking Siri to flip a coin. Don't answer that. But the second most is impulse. It's that jolt or spark that just tips me over the edge, and I get into this flow state of effortless creativity until I just use up all this energy at once and burn out and stop creating altogether for an extended period of time. But that's really the scariest part of it, turning art from something that's just a creative hobby or something I do on the weekends into something that I can support myself with and just do forever. It's the thing of literally and figuratively not being able to afford those extended periods of time just not making something, it seems. I want to be creating out of passion, out of loving it. I want to create every day because I love creating every day. I want to create art because it is something I enjoy. And if that is something I do every day and I can find some way to do it every day and not burn out, great. But I don't want art to be this necessity for survival, and it just goes right back to being a job. Especially today, where it seems like if you're not outputting more frequently and more consistently than ever, you kind of just get forgotten. I think I've learned that the point of this series, while maybe not being the intention I had going into it, is to love making things, and they don't have to be perfect. As long as you love them, that's the best part. And as long as I tried, like really tried, and enjoyed it while doing it, even if it wasn't perfect or if it wasn't exactly how I envisioned it, that's the point. And that's okay. So thanks for sticking around, listening to me ramble and all that jazz. If you liked it, make sure you leave a like. If you didn't, that's okay. Maybe you'll like the next one. But in the meantime, until the next one, I've been Miloh, you've been you. Be good people, don't be a dick, and just try, because that's all we can really do in this world. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. I think we filmed. We're done. This YouTuber stuff is hard, man.